choreographed dancing and what now they kind of call a hip-hop style of dance. It's a little bit different from the break dancing. People don't always get on the floor and do your coffee grinders, windmills, and these crazy things, but it's about rhythmic dancing in to the flow of the music, and people working together to create a style. And one big part of what hip-hop dancing, break dancing has always been about is about the battle, about who's the better dancer. Breakdance crews would just show up at a subway like this, throw down some cardboard boxes, and go to town, see who the better dancers are, and you wanted to get your reputation up. I mean, that's how, you think of the Rocksteady crew, probably. The Rocksteady crew is the biggest breakdance dancing crew in the world in hip-hop history. And, guys like Crazy Legs would always invent moves, and they would always go out of their way in order to, prove they were the best. And dancing, along with rapping and DJing, the battle's always been an important part. And all across this city here, even in Taipei, dance crews battle routinely to see who's the best. This is where hip-hop started, a turntable and vinyl record. DJs would find a drum break on an old school record, a James Brown record or something. You get the drums, ba-dum boom. And the breakdancers wanted to breakdance to that, so you'd get this record, then you'd get this and a second record of the same record, and you would just extend that break, ba-dum boom, and you just loop it up. And that's where the music got started with the DJs. Then you got into things where you would take the record and make your own beat. After you started having DJs extend those break records, guys like Kool Herc, Grandmaster Flash, you had people starting to make their own beats with the record, beat juggling, ba-dum boom, ba-dum boom 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 boom, and using what this right here is the crossfader. So one record, the other record, boom, ba-dum boom, and you go back and forth. Then, as DJs started to get more creative, they wanted to be the better DJ. They wanted the most fans. You'd start taking the record, boom, 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 and then you let the record play, or you could scratch a voice, fresh, something like that. Over time, things developed, and you started having people want to make the records and start getting onto music and start making the production happen and having what we know today as beats. This is DJ Vicar from Taipei, Taiwan, and he is a DJ in Taiwan. He's been going for 10 years, and he's an authority on the Taiwan hip-hop scene. So we're just going to ask him a few questions and learn a little about how hip-hop has spread around the world. So I guess first, how did you first get into hip-hop?
当我就是国中的时候，然后就是开始在电视台听到一些黑人的音乐，然后可是那时候搞不清楚这个东西是 hip hop， 我以为是就是 popular music， 但是我后来发现，我喜欢就是黑人有饶舌的音乐，对，大概是国中的时候开始喜欢。
The question we're interested in is just can you tell us a little something about how hip hop came to Taiwan and a little bit of the hip hop history in Taiwan?
OK， 这个说起来有点冗长，可能大概是在80末期、90初期的时候，台湾就是除了外来音乐以外，主要是因为台湾以前有一个外国 ABC 团体回来台湾，他们叫 LA Boys。然后他们用街舞的方式，然后发唱片，然后带动了整个风潮。可是，在他们之前，台湾其实有一些本土的创作者，有一个叫罗百吉 DJ Jerry and 猪头皮，然后还有一些台湾本土艺人叫黑名单工作室。他们其实开始用一些说唱的方式来，就是表达他们对社会还有一些。就是心里面的一些想法，然后就是有点像是在搞笑的方式，然后去制作这些专辑，大概是那个时候开始。
Matin, réveillé avec un mal de tête, mal de vivre, causé par ces bêtes. Tes souffrances t'ordonnent tous le sourire. Je vous emmerde, je préfère mourir qu'avoir vos pitiés. Prier chaque soir, laisser le sourire sur ta face, mec de 20 ans. Rien n'est bon, rire au même sourire, pour moi tu une tâche dure. Suive pas fake, mais pur, yo.
Hi, my name is Ben Hakim. I'm 24 years old and I'm from Casablanca, Morocco, which is located in the northwest of Africa. My relationship with hip-hop came at a very early age. I was probably 12 or 13 years old, and I remember the first song I've heard was on the radio, and it was played by Mobb Deep. It was entitled Shook Ones, and it just had, I don't know, I felt very impacted by the song, by the rhymes, by the music, the beat. And so that's where I started, my interest into hip-hop started growing, and I started downloading songs, downloading lyrics as well, getting more in depth into how rap music, the whole world of rap music, how is it created step by step, and also the wider world of hip-hop with breakdancing, graffiti, everything that is involved.
Maybe at this point a lot of people are thinking, didn't hip-hop start with the rapper, or isn't the rapper the main part of hip-hop? Well, the rapper is actually a little bit later of an addition, because what happened was these DJs, they would go and they would be the thing. People would pay the money to see these big DJs. So, you'd want to go see these DJs, and then what would happen? Their friend or someone they knew would come along and be the MC. They would host the evening, and they would say, it would start off just saying, on the wheels of steel, we got Grandmaster Flash. And then, after a little while, they started getting more creative. We got Grandmaster Flash. Everybody put your hands in the air. And everybody put their hands in the air and keep having fun. Now, after that, you started getting more what you know as rapping. Everybody put your hands in the air and wave them around like you just don't care. And, started with little basic rhymes that after that point, it slowly from the mid to late 70s evolved into the early 80s, when you started getting, your basic, your real basic rappers, people who really first started to do it in how you think of it today. Sugar Hill Gang with Rapper's Delight, Busy Bee, all these other cats, Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. They were the ones who really started to take the rapping to a whole nother level, and made rapping what we know it today. Guys like Kurtis Blow, That's the Breaks, records like that. That's what first got hip hop started, and where the rapper really started to become the focal point, where you didn't even know who the DJ was or the producer was. You just knew, Kurtis Blow was nice on the mic, and you wanted to get his record because he was the man. So that's the quick history of it. And from there, after we get into these new rappers in the early 80s that start getting big, then the whole game changed when you had Run DMC come out in 84. I mean, that just it shut it shut everything down, and that's the first time Sugar Hill Gang Rapper's Delight was the first hip hop record to chart on the Billboard charts. But Run DMC, they shut it down. They had the huge records. They were selling out stadiums. They had My Adidas. They were getting contracts, and at that point, hip hop went from really a local thing or kind of an underground thing to being something that everyone knew about, and it just blew up.